Hey, ladies, welcome back. I am so glad to bring this message to you all today because over the last couple of weeks, I have been engaging with a lot of new experts and female founders. And I'm like, okay, I am seeing a trend. And anytime I see a trend or a pattern, I know it is time I give myself permission to speak up about these things. So that means if it's happening to me, that means it's happening to other people. And by other people, I mean your clients, your future clients, people who want to support you and advocate for you, but cannot because you are doing these three things. This one is going to be relatively quick. So I'm going to talk about today the three things that are killing your personal brand, and you don't even realize you are doing it. Before I jump in, if you are new to my channel, my name is Sybil, and I am known affectionately as the brand positioning queen. I help female founders build their expert-based businesses doing more of what they love in service to others. Okay, so y'all know I like a good scene. I was on an accountability call with one of the many people who I have on my team, and because I firmly believe that we do not build businesses in a vacuum, right? There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire, whatever, right? Blah. Um, and I was praying and meditating around the pruning process because I feel like God is really pruning people from out my life and helping me see clearly the people who are going to be with me during this long-term journey versus maybe short time. And that's okay too, right? That's not what this one is about. But I was on a call with one of my long-term accountability partners, and she kept talking over me. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you have got to stop talking. You have got to stop talking so I can hear what I'm thinking, so I can reply to the thing that I think you are trying to say, but you haven't asked me. And so often we as experts, we lunge into, and I'm gonna use lunge because that's like an active word. We lunge into solutions and we haven't even asked the question yet. And we're start solving problems that people don't need us to solve. And just like that, you disconnect from the people who really do need you, who would value you, but for the fact that you haven't asked the question. And after about 5 minutes of saying, I already did that, right? Because that's a listening skill, that's a sign you're not listening. I finally had to pivot the conversation and I left really frustrated. And I heard it, I'm thinking, are you doing this to your clients? Right? Like, and so often I think we as impassioned and energetic experts, we want to solve the problems, fix the things, and save the world, that we forget people don't need all of our help. They need a very specific part of our help, but we have to be willing to ask, what help do you need from me today? And if it's not us, we offer an alternative solution, an alternative resource, or we become a really great referral partner. And it just kind of chafed me because I'm like, okay, we're two highly intelligent women on this call together. We're supposed to be bouncing ideas, right? Thought partners. And I was just like, I don't even know right now. So I am yet praying through this pruning process on whether or not I will give her permission to still be on my growth team, because I think it is so important to know who's in your corner, but who's also going to advocate for you in your corner, who's going to challenge you while you are yet growing your business, and then the people who don't want you to succeed. And I'm not saying that she does not want me to succeed. I know she wants me to succeed, but anytime my voice is silenced or minimized or cannot be heard because somebody else is over talking me, then that's not going to work for me. So if you are an expert, don't be a know-it-all. Now, there are a couple of signs, and I just alluded to them as to whether or not you're an expert or a know-it-all. Number one, know-it-alls typically don't know as much as they think they do. So throughout this call, she was telling me about all these great softwares she knew how to use, except for the one that I was actually asking her about. And I was like, yep, I still need help with this specific software. And she was like, well, I know this one and this one and this one and this one. And I'm like, yeah, but this is the software I'm using, right? Like, don't be a know-it-all because you don't know it all. Number two, do you practice active listening? Know-it-alls typically don't practice active listening because that means they have to stop and think, am I the expert in this thing? And when she realized she was not the expert in the software that I was contemplating using, she didn't have anything else to say. And so she kept leaning into what she is an expert at, and that's fine. But own your space. If you are not a thought leader in an area, if you are unsure, if it is not quite in alignment, it's okay to say less. It's okay to say, I don't know, but I can help you in this other way. And then the last thing that I will say is experts, and I'm guilty of this too. We have got to stop over talking the people who need us the most. And again, I needed her as a thought partner, not as somebody who was trying to solve all of my things for me. And so that comes from asking the right questions and then shutting up. And that can be really difficult for those of us who are used to being called on, having the right answer, being the go-to person, to have to take that step back and say, okay, wait, what does somebody really need from me? What am I supposed to be hearing? How do I then need to respond? So nobody likes to know it all. If you're an expert, ask more questions, be silent, think through some things, and then give your reply. Give people space to think and process the information that you're giving to them because it really is valuable. Number two, and I'm pulling out my iPhone because y'all, when I have little God winks at 3 a.m., because that's usually when God wants to talk to me and say hello, because he knows that's the only time I'm probably gonna be quiet. I'll be listening. Number two, too much calendar space. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not saying to block your calendar so that there is no white space, but if there is too much white space, you just don't look busy. You don't look busy enough. You don't look like you have anything to do. And when I get ready to put time on another person's calendar, if they say, hey, Sybil, can I get your calendar? I pre-block my calendar. Now, here's what this does. Number one, it forces you into a routine. It forces you into time management. Number two, it sends a signal to the other person that you're not at their beck and call. You are not going to respond to every single inquiry that they give you the minute they send it to you, but you will respond within the parameters of your SLAs, your service level agreements, right? But having too much white space on your calendar says either A, I don't know how to manage my time, or B, I don't have enough things to do to fill my time. And we as entrepreneurs, we have plenty of things that can fill our time that should fill our daily calendar. At a minimum, I have about 3 hours a day blocked off for my daily and weekly and monthly tasks. If you have not figured out how to time block, that might be one of the reasons why your business isn't quite where you want it to be. Time blocking not only forces you to figure out when you function best to do specific tasks, but it also, again, signals to other people, oh, this person prioritizes their calendar and how they manage it, which means they're going to help me prioritize and manage whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing as a cooperative partner, as a thought leader, as an advisor or coach or consultant, whatever the case may be. And that actually leads me into my third one. And this one, I had to start coaching a couple of my business women too. And I was like, y'all, I don't care if this is the truth, but like, let's brand this message a different way. There's a difference between being available, having access to you, or saying, hold on, let me find it. I've got nothing to do. I've got plenty of time. Woo! Don't say that. Just do not say that anymore. You don't have plenty of time. You do have plenty of things to do. I've got nothing to do. My calendar is open. I'm free. Do y'all realize what type of messages you're sending? Number one, you are not free. If nothing else, you were bought with a price. But number two, you are priceless. But number three, if you don't value you and your time, nobody else will. And anytime I'm partnering with another expert and she says, "Oh, I'm totally free," I'm like, "No, you're not totally free." I said, "You have some limited availability based off of your schedule, but what you're not going to be is I'm totally free." And it's these small mindset changes that I find that we have such a challenge with, because we're used to saying these things based off of our backgrounds in corporate, or our background in being people pleasing, or our background in saying, "Oh, I got to say yes to everybody, even at the detriment to myself." So, ladies, please do yourself a favor, do your brand a favor. Do not tell people you are free, you got nothing but time, you got nothing to do, I'm free all day. Whatever that phrase is, you know what your phrase is. Catch yourself in the moment and say, "Thank you. Let me check my availability. I have 2 slots. Which would you like?" I typically only network in the morning. And y'all, that's an accurate statement. Anybody who looks at my calendar knows I'm only going to do networking events two days a week, because I like to book these things, because I know it requires a different level of energy for me. Tuesday and Thursday, these are my networking days. I only take networking meetings within specific blocks because it requires a different process, a different mindset. I want to make sure that my queue is clear before I get into learning about other people's businesses and how I can serve them as a partner. So get in the habit of setting the intention that you are not always available, that you are not free. Get in the habit of saying, "Here's my calendar, here's my booking link, here are 2 options. Please pick one that works for both of us." Not the best for you. It's got to work for both of us. This is a partnership. Anytime you go into a meeting, a collaboration, a coffee chat, or whatever you have, take those key moments to reframe and rephrase how you are positioning and talking about your brand. You only get one chance at this brand thing, right? We can rebrand you all day, but at the core, you get one really good shot to communicate to people who you are, why you are valuable, why they should partner with you, and why no one else can do it the way you do. All right. So, like I said, these were the 3 things that I wanted to jump on really fast, because this has just been happening in the last couple of weeks. And it always baffles me when when experts say they hate creating content, or they be running out of stuff to talk about. Y'all, I will never run out of stuff to talk about. If you are running out of stuff to talk about, you're not talking about the right things. But that's for another video. Till next time, I will see y'all on the other side. Don't forget to hit that like or subscribe. Bye for now.